Well, she's back. I've been having more consistent fueling issues with this car, so it's time to change out. The only other thing I didn't change out in the fuel system when I did the engine swap, which was the transfer pump. I bought this a long time ago, but I never installed it. So this thing is the in-tank pump, not designed to deliver any pressure. It's just volume to the big pressure pump on the side of the car, on the right about here on the other side of the car. The one in this car I think is pretty much dead. Whenever I go hard around a clover leaf and then pin it, the car basically dies because it loses prime. So here's hoping that at least makes it a little bit better. This car is still very, very fast, but it's not as quick as it should be. So step one's just pull the rear seat bottom out, just pull up from here and there's a clip on each side, and then just pull it right on out. So let's get the back seat out. All that stands between you and your fuel pump is this little steel door, which should have 4 Phillips screws on it. Mine didn't have any screws, which is great. And that pump looks pretty disgusting. So by that I mean it's original, and this car has 250,000 miles on it. So there's 2 electrical connectors. That's the power for the pump, and then this is the signal feed for the level sender, which you're going to reuse. Once you pulled those 2 off, get your 8mm and carefully take these 4 8mm nuts off. There's also small washers on there that you do not want to lose, but they stay down. There's one of the nuts. Sorry guys, it's tough to film and do work at the same time. There's one of the washers. Do that for all 4, then this sender lifts straight out. Try not to drip on your carpet, because then your car will smell like a fuel leak for the next few weeks. But get those out, and then we'll start dealing with the hoses. One more thing I should add, don't do this when you have a full tank of gas. It gets a little messier. I literally just filled this car up before I went and did a couple of errands, so it's brimmed. Also, I noticed when I pulled the level sender up a little bit that I had a vacuum in there, so I think my fuel tank vent might be a problem. But I'm just holding the sender up a little ways to try to drain it as best I can. There's only a little weep hole in the bottom and the top that let fuel go in and out for the fuel level, and I'd like it to drain into the tank as much as possible, just to try to keep the stench to a minimum. So I'm gonna let that go for a second, and then we'll get moving on to these hose clamps here, which are the pinch style. There's 2 of them, one on that side, one on this side. That's the feed. The return is the bigger one. Those aren't reusable, so use a combination of a flathead and a pliers to work those apart, and pull the hoses off. Well, the strategy now is get these 2 hoses off. Use whatever means you like, just push them off, and then to get this actual basket out, get your 2 biggest standard screwdrivers, and I will show you how I do this. So this part might be almost impossible for me to show you while I'm doing it, but I'm going to go ahead and try anyway. So what you want to do, there's little recesses in the metal around the lip on this pump that you can get the flat blade of the screwdriver to sit into. Sorry guys, this is tough. Alright, so what I'm doing basically is just pushing against, here, let me show you. I'm using the 2 screwdrivers to push against each other to rotate this thing counterclockwise. It only goes like 1/8 of a turn and then it pulls right out, but this part is a little tricky. Luckily my O-ring is very, very, very dry and disgusting, so that came apart really easily. Now, just lift up on this bad boy, ever so carefully, lift out your original fuel pump. Disgusting. Okay. This is gonna get messy. Oop. So there you have it. The reason I didn't go original equipment is because they don't make them anymore. And this part was pretty reasonable from Airtex. So they do include a new O-ring you're asking yourself, what the hell is the O-ring for? It's for the top of the tank. And as you can tell, this one is pretty well perished. Disgusting. Okay, so I'm going to pop that one down right there. Get the new pump. And it goes in sock toward the right side of the car. And slowly work it in. Try not to do any damage to anything. Alright, now you're going to have to use your same trick with the screwdrivers while pushing down on this metal plate quite hard and twist it the 1/8 of a turn back in. There we are. Remove this sticker so I can actually get my that's too bad I can't leave that on there. Forgot what I was saying. Anyway, next step is get some hose clamps. I prefer original equipment, but since I'm kind of doing this job on a whim, all I've got are these Harbor Freight ones, which will do the trick. Make sure you put the clamps on the hoses first. I've done this several times where I've forgotten to do that. And boy, does that make things awkward. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stop the video for a second to get these hoses on, but, well, maybe not. You guys get to admire this real time. Why not? Sorry. Throw that up there real quick. There we go. Now just get your clamps in position, tighten them down, throw that sender back in, and we're pretty much good to go. Actually, I had to go through 2 of these clamps. The first one I pulled out of the package brand new was already shot, but that's the price you pay for no quality. Alright, get our sender. Make sure I go in the right way. And this is going to be pretty buoyant going in because it's not full of fuel. But there we are. Don't forget to put down a washer on each one first. Unless, of course, you lost them, which is pretty likely. In which case, just go ahead and put the nuts on. Not a big deal. I kept track of them, but I lost one. So, not sure how that happened. Oops. You can put them on with a tool, but you do have to get them threaded by hand. They cross-thread pretty easily. Alright, get the 8mm nut driver. It's a tight fit for sure. I'm actually on my way out to the garage where I shoot most of my videos right now because my brother took out the Mercedes for a drive and actually got stranded downtown. So I have to go bring a jump pack and rescue him in the M3. If I think of it, I'll do a short little video of that thing restarting since apparently it died in an intersection and it won't restart. Alright, get your electrical plugs. Fuel sender, fuel pump, you are now done. Gross. I'm just gonna put it back together and go for a drive. Thanks for watching, guys.